This is the story of hands, but not just any hands, my hands. One might think that hands are just utilitarian and that they don't hold any great significance outside of Scripture and possessing the right hand of God. But what I see when I look at hands, I see a reflection of the person, not just if they are clean and the nails neat and trim, or if they are weather-beaten or calloused from handling tools or playing the guitar. That isn't really what I look for. I see the same thing in other hands that I see in my own hands. Stories woven together in every line, every fingerprint. After all, it is those fingerprints we leave behind every time we touch something, the impression that is made every time we touch someone. Hands express emotion, provide comfort, indicate anger. Hands tell a story. They tell a story about who we are as human beings with our opposable thumbs. They tell our personal stories, our travels as we journey through life. That's what I see when I look at hands. My hands. Today, my hands are different than they are any other day because my story is different today than any other day. This is the story of my hands. My hands held the camera as I took a close look at the world around me through the lens. Seeing was important, but the hands were responsible for pushing the button that captured the image. Once again, I was able to explore the boundaries of imagination and reality. I would sit in the country on an abandoned road in the middle of winter, looking for beauty in the dead and dying. The crunchy ground was the only sound except for my subject's dry, scratching rub as the winter wind whipped by. My ungloved hands cold, but ready. Several minutes go by while I see only what is within the frame. My hands grow steadier, proving that I don't need the help of a tripod. Then, the moment is perfect, and my hands acknowledge the creative moment with a soft click. As a mother, those hands learned how to navigate new stories. Stories I remember my own mother's hands navigating. As she grew, my hands held storybooks and made every Halloween costume, sewing every petal, gluing every sprinkle. Because that is what the hands of a mother are supposed to do. My hands patched up every scraped knee and consoled against the tears. They taught her to play the violin. After she was diagnosed with obsessive-compulsive disorder, ADHD, depression, and an array of other comorbid disorders, those hands went from just holding storybooks to holding books on parenting a child with special needs and cleaning up her expressions of imagination. As a wife, my hands protected me, shielded me from hands larger than my own. They baked his favorite cake from scratch for his birthday and covered my mouth when he became angry and threw it out the door onto the grass. They protected my face and head when the stoneware plate sailed through the air when I failed to put the dishes away correctly, and they let the knife go in one swift release when he started for me. My hands have pulled from my throat, other hands fought back and performed the tasks that were necessary to survive. My hands eventually signed the papers that set me free, and in that instant, allowed me to breathe again. As I came to be my own, H and I spent a summer exploring our new world. My hands dug in the dirt, fished rocks out of the lake bed, and wrote it all down. They contributed to fun times with my sister, a country road trip, and a patch of naked ladies. My hands painted the walls of our rented room a color to match the newfound happiness. School bus yellow. That summer, my hands held books once again, planted flowers, and pet the cat. His blue eyes would look up at me while he purred loudly. After a time, he would shift his magnificent form until his belly was exposed and the petting would be ordered to reconvene. My story is the story of my hands. Every mark touched, literally and figuratively, by my hands. If you look at my hands today, you will see a different story than you saw yesterday, because my story is different today.